Happy New Year, good morning. Today, we're going to be working on our XO-FAB cage. Now, this is everything that you get with an XO-FAB cage, which is around $1,200, which is a really good deal. I'm going to go put this outside before, Anyways, like I was saying, this is the kit that you get with the XO-FAB cage, and I'm really excited about it. Now, they only make one of these for a Jeep Cherokee, and that's unfortunate because it wouldn't take much, maybe 2 or 3 different bends symmetrically to make this work. Jeep Comanche. So I went and ordered the whole kit, and I'm going to modify and adapt this to work on a Jeep Comanche, and I'm going to take you along with me. So Happy New Year, stay tuned, because I'm going to unpack all this the rest of the way. We'll put it together like a puzzle, and then we can start measuring things to see if my B-pillar is going to fit inside the cab, or I have to go outside the cab, or what we have to do. Really excited. Let's go. Now I'm going to set this up right in this little square because I know that this is flat. I've checked it before. This kit also doesn't come with the paper instructions, but when you order this from XO-FAB, they will email you the instructions that they have worked up. And if you lose that email or just want another one, or you don't want to buy it, you just want to see how it gets put together, you can just email them, or you probably Google search and find it. I have it on my phone. A lot of these pieces are pretty self-explanatory. You've got your main hoop right here. Those will get connected just like that. These are cross tubes, which go kind of like this right here, and then you're going to have these tubes over here that it does all the X pieces and all that. You've got A pillars. One of these is going to be a B pillar, probably this one, and then this is going to be your C pillar. It goes through the cab and bolts to the inside of a Jeep Cherokee, and then over here you have all the top pieces, some mounting plates, these 1.5 inch tube pieces that will connect certain spots, and then you have some extension pieces to make these longer, so it's the length of a 4-door Jeep Cherokee. I'm going to go ahead and put this together like a big puzzle. I might use some ratchet straps, or I might just set it right there if it stays, and we could start measuring to see how much of this top halo I'm going to use. They also give you these little round pieces, and that's to weld up the ends of the tubes that are open. On the back of the roof rack part of the cage, the tubes just end, and they would have open holes if you didn't have this. Perhaps I'm missing something. Now, what is going on with this thing? Or does it go like this? Okay. There's a couple different pictures on here of how it goes. See, 2 different ones here. Interesting. Okay, so I have it right like this. However, I see somebody else has built theirs like this, but it's not cut that way. Oh, like that. Okay. Well, hold on. Oh, why didn't you tell me it's not in the middle? That makes sense. Thanks, guys. Jeez. That's how the front goes. And now that we have that piece together, we need to measure how long this is, 31.5 inches. Well, my truck is 31.5 inches. So I guess the nice thing about buying and building a DIY cage is that there's room for error, but it also means that there's room for customization. What I could do is, on this spreader bar right here, I could mount my B pillar right to this and put it down through the inside of the cab, wherever the heck I want. And then this brow spreader bar here will hang forward as far as however far I need it to be, and then your A pillar would weld to that, B pillar weld to this, and then from this ratchet strap back, it's just extra metal to do whatever I want with it, which is pretty nice. You've got your pillar spreaders, your halo, and then all the rest of this I can use to modify, cut, bend, whatever I want to do to make this work for this truck. I measured that spreader bar on the top of the Jeep cab, and that is way wide enough for what I need. I don't need to widen this or do any other kind of odd modifications like that. I think the next step is to get these 1.5 inch insert and these two ends of the actual halo cleaned up, because they're laser cut and it's left some slag on the inside of that. When you get this cage, you're going to want to clean the slag off of the inside of the end. I got to clean mine a little bit more. Bevel these and then drill a little rosette weld hole. That way you can put in one end, weld it in place, and then clean up the other side and slide that over that. The rosette weld will help hold this in place when you're sliding them together, but it also makes it really strong. The bevel of this actually helps make it a lot stronger too, because if you do it correctly, you'll weld to this insert piece and you'll get a really good weld around this too. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit more and we'll get it stuck in there. So yeah, now we can see it's inserted in there. I'm going to weld up this hole right here that welds the insert to the tube, and then I'll have a nice connecting point like a big tent pole to slide the other way into. Weld that hole up, and then I can smooth that off with my flap disc and make it look like it was never there. Ha! Brand new. I feel like I want to sweep this really quick, just so that I'm very sure that it is flat. I don't have like any little nasty crumbs under the tubes, causing the whole thing to be out of whack. Because when you're building anything, and that's to include woodworking projects or home renovations or whatever you decide to do, if you build the very first thing and it is not square, then nothing else is going to be square. And that's a fact. The first step in any project is a foundation for the rest of it. I think these bends here, or maybe the 90s on the corners, are a little overbent, and I think that XO-FAB did that on purpose, so that these runners here will press inward when you're putting this thing together. You can see how much this is bent in. Stand this up, leverage on it. See how lovely that holds together? What I'm going to end up doing before I can put these pieces on is welding this seam all the way. And I cannot do that because I have the spreader bar pushing those corners out. And any flex in this, even with plug welds in, I want them to be welded with everything straight. Okay, now I've got a loose fit right here, and I can remove this if I want. Right now, I'm just gonna hold it right there. We're gonna have to measure everything, this bar and this bar, to be perfectly square. These need to be right angles. These need to be right angles. But we have a tool for that. Gotta make sure they're all square at the same time too. $25 3/4 inches on that side. 25 7/8 on that side. Technically, they should need to go this way. 1/8 of an inch. So I've got this sitting just about how I need it, and I'm going to tack these corners first, and then I'll tack the inside. That'll hold this whole piece together. This right here is about how much halo, except for about to right here, that I'm going to actually use for this Jeep. I may make this come out a little bit so that I can connect to the bed, but this is pretty much all I need from the top of this build. But if you're watching because you have a Jeep Cherokee and you'd like to see how the rest of this is put together, I'm going to go ahead and lay this all out so that you see how it's supposed to go. There was a third spreader, and it's now gone. Not kidding. This vanished. It's like I need to watch the video to figure out where I've put things. Because honestly, there's no way. I didn't go anywhere. It disappeared. Oh, nope. I put it on top of the Jeep. Idiot. Your spreader would go on here like that. Then you put these two silver dollar size things to cap off the ends. And there you go. That's basically your Jeep Cherokee setup. So the challenge is to get all that extra pieces to make it work for the Jeep truck.